And then what about the part with Simon? How do we live like it's true that, this irony, that Simon thinks he's been forgiven so little, he doesn't even have to give Jesus a kiss or welcome. He doesn't even have to show common courtesy. Oh, that's, how
That's
do we
ouchy.
live? Yeah, that's ouchy. How do we live that truth?
Well, I love the fact that Jesus says, Simon, do you see this woman?
Mm.
Because essentially, Simon, of course, he sees the woman. He can't ignore the woman. She's making such a huge,
Can't miss her.
show in front of him, right? Um, but what Jesus's question really implies is he doesn't see her as a daughter of the king. He doesn't see her as a fellow sister. He probably doesn't, barely even sees her as a human being, honestly. He doesn't see her as a human soul created by God, and loved by him. And, that is so applicable. That is such an applicable question for us today when we think about people that are fundamentally different from us, maybe people that we would view as that sort, whether it would be politically or economically or from an ethnic perspective. People that are fundamentally different from us don't walk in our circles. We don't rub shoulders with on a day-to-day basis. They are out there in the world, but we don't regularly interact with them. Do we see them? Do we see them the way Jesus saw this woman? Jesus saw a woman who was desperate for forgiveness. Jesus saw a woman who desperately needed a savior. Jesus saw a woman who needed saving. How
And
do we see those people? Do we see them with disdain, like Simon, as an annoyance, as infiltrating his perfect little tidy world, and she's messy and awkward and doesn't want to deal with her? Is that how we view those people? Or do we view them like Jesus and say, this is someone created and loved by God with an eternal soul who's going to spend eternity with Jesus in peace or eternity apart from him in hell?
Yeah.
Do we see them?
Yes, I love that. If there is somebody that we're looking at with disdain, they seem less than in our eyes. I think you're exactly right. Living like this story is true is looking at her, that sort, and saying, Jesus died for her. Jesus died for her the same way he died for me. And the way I see her is the way that I, in a sense, see Jesus. Do I see him as the savior who welcomes sinners like me and like her, right? And invites us all to the same table.